Okay, so the first type of line we're going to talk about is contour line. To put simply, it's an outline. On your handout, it defines contour line as a uniform in width line, but I tend to think about it, any line drawing as a contour drawing, so including something with some varying line width. I think that adds visual interest to the drawing. So for me, personally, I think it doesn't need to be so rigid for the purposes of this class. Let's go with that. Someone else might define it a little more strict as they do in the handout here, but essentially contour line is an outline, so something that does not contain any value, but defines the shapes in the drawing. Gesture drawings capture the essence of the subject. We often use this in figure drawing, but you can use gesture lines to define still objects. They're typically quick and loose, and you're kind of figuring it out as you go, right? So if we look at the image on the left, it's like a cartoon, I don't know if it's like a squirrel or raccoon or some sort of creature there. You can see that some of the face is starting to be more defined, but for the most part it's just these big rough shapes, and it's a lot of overlapping lines in a similar shape, right? Because the artist is trying to figure out where those objects are going to be placed, and rather than just sitting there and thinking about it theoretically, they're just going to draw lightly on the paper and figure it out by doing. And then you can see on the right that this artist used their gesture to define this face, and then went back in and cleared up some of it even more specifically. So that's sort of the technique we use in figure drawing, but like I said, you can do this with still drawing too. And in this class, we're only going to be dealing with still objects. We might do some sketchbook prompts where it's a little more free-flowing, but as far as your exercises and projects, it's going to be just still objects. Implied lines. Your brain will automatically fill in the rest of the line even though it's not there. You can see on these two examples that the lines aren't complete, right? For the picture, the top of the picture isn't connected on that left side or on the inside of the handle. And then on the right, the tool isn't even completed on the right side, but you can tell what the rest of the shape is going to be, because like I said, your brain automatically fills it in. Implied lines add a sense of lightness and delicacy to your drawings. Okay. Compositionally implied lines are created by the layout of the objects being drawn. So take some time to look this over. It's something that you're going to use when we get to composition. But you can do this on your own. First, contemplate the image on the left, letting your eyes move about freely without thinking. And then on the right, in the image on the right, we see how the use of compositionally implied lines leads our eyes all around the drawing, right? So you can use this when you're setting up your objects. You're going to edit your still lifes so you can keep the viewer's eyes on the page. You can use this to direct the viewer to a certain part of the object. This will be helpful as we go on, and we'll talk about this more when we get to our lesson on composition. Calligraphic lines, so this stems from calligraphy, right, which is a type of writing. But all this means is that the same line goes from thick to thin and often back again.